When you hear the word pimp, you hear the word, what do you think of? You think of lower level people. That's the problem with people. They always think that it's like, oh, you snatched her up off the corner and made her do this. She's doing this by herself. It's more of a security in itself. She knows that getting a boyfriend or getting somebody that's square, it's probably not gonna last long, dog. You can only mask it and cover it up so much.
Sharp, or Sharp the Pimp, as he's known online, is one of the most popular podcasters on the internet. He hosts the show Sharp Tank on the No Jumper Network. Sharp grew up in extreme poverty in Las Vegas and was forced into the sex trade at a very young age. For the next few decades, he laid the P down in cities all over the country, making money the only way he knew how. But when Adam22, the host of the No Jumper podcast, discovered him, Sharp found his true passion in life: podcasting. Indeed, he is one of the funniest, most charismatic individuals I've ever interviewed. We had a candid conversation about his past life as a pimp and what that's really like. He exposes the dark reality of the butt business and reveals how he escaped that world. Today, Sharp works with at-risk youth and runs a foundation that supports victims of human trafficking. And of course, he is a very successful podcaster. Make sure to check out Sharp Tank as well as his new podcast, No Excuses, available on his YouTube page and wherever you get podcasts. And for a bonus episode with Sharp, head over to that Patreon, patreon.com/TheConnectShow. All right, this was a different one, folks. You're gonna love it. I had so much fun talking to him. I give you Sharp, right here on The Connect with Johnny Mitchell.
You might be happy, but that don't mean that the people around you are. That's why I always say, don't just watch for yourself, watch for others, bro. You gotta make sure everybody's taken care of, man. Believe in your team. How long is it gonna last? All she see you doing is winning and she's not. That's the only way to make the dream work, church.
That's when I see the lights behind me start to flash. And I didn't even think, I just hit it. I was driving like my life depended on it. Then I parked the car, hopped out, closed the door, and I started running.
And he pulls out a burner, a shank, it's like 6 inches. And then he passes it to me. And he goes, here, that's yours. Don't ever leave the cell block without this. He was the reason I made it out of that place alive.
Why still in the game? You know what I mean? Like, we know from, rap lore, right? From like Mac Dre to Pimp C to you name another pimp rapper from the West Coast. Who's the little short guy? Can you feel me? Come on, help me out here. Drew Down.
Drew Down.
So we know all these cats,
Sugar
Too
Free.
Short, Sugar Free. Sugar Free was probably like the realest P that was also rapping, right? But like, if you're really out there like laying down the P, that's like that's a double full-time job, right? So I'm just curious about the transition from that, or like why add this podcast element to it? You know what I mean?
Well, first and foremost, I didn't add any element to anything. It just found me, bro. Pimps, you have to understand something, man. We're good speakers.
Of course.
We know how to, we better be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Honestly, like, you know what I'm saying? We're good speakers. Like, we know how to articulate ourselves in a way that I think it's grown past just the game, some hoes, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I got the world want to listen. You know what I'm saying? The world's tuning in. They can find some game in what I'm saying. It's not, I'm not trying to tell anybody or teach anybody or promote anybody to go be a pimp, be a hoe. All I do is try to make sure, hey man, I promote to be the best you possibly can be.
Yeah.
You might be in a up situation, but you could still face the adversity and override it, man. You can get over the mountain, and it just seems like it's helped a lot of people. Like, man, I've had people talk about committing suicide, like, and they found some of my videos and it's helped them through.
Wow.
You know?
Dude, that makes sense. You know what? Like, you like Dre Love, right? From the documentary back in the 90s, American Pimp.
Yeah, you talking about Gorgeous Dre.
Yeah, Gorgeous Dre.
Good friend of mine.
Yeah, it seems like a great guy. I talked to him on the phone. Even Don Juan. Like,
good
even
guy.
he was, and who was like the original Fillmore Slim, right?
Good guy as well. It's a good friend of mine.
Wow. Is he still living?
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like pimps have a through line. They come from really up childhoods, right? But they're deep and they have, and they've been around women for so long that they are in touch with that emotion, that vulnerability that as a podcaster and a speaker, you kind of need when you're being candid.
Yeah.
You kind of have to drop being cool and just be authentic and
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
And so it bodes well. You do see other P's go into like public speaking and podcasting.
Yeah.
And media. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm probably one of the first ones for like podcasting.
Sure,
that
definitely.
opened the door and got it going. I'm not
Facts.
saying there's people that ain't tried it. I'm not saying there's people that ain't did it. That's not even where I'm going with it. But what I'm saying is I'm probably one of the first of my kind that got into the podcasting media game and got cracking.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
No matter where it's at today, I feel like I'm number one. I'm gonna stay there.
Oh, yeah, dude. You're my generation. You're an 80s baby.
Yeah.
Would you say you saw the last of like the old school pimping? Like,
For sure. No, 100%. I mean, I think anything changes with time. You know, I always felt like there were some things, like I would say the game or drug dealing, whatever. You know, it's supposed to have this cultural moral to it, you know, that, you know, no matter what, this playbook doesn't change. Right. And it seems like today that ain't the case. Right. You know, people are wanting to do things their way and calling it that. You know, I mean, let's be real, bro. You'll get a medal for effort these days, like for participating. Like they don't, and they'll consider you that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of it just being really authentic and pure.
Yeah. I mean, like you remember, because I think you were laying it down at like 13. Didn't you say that? So you were basically pimping before the internet. When there was a real active track, like, and everybody's out there on the stroll, right?
Yeah, it was definitely different, man. I mean, I've watched the whole era. That's why when they talk about a digital pivot, I mean, I was there when Craigslist got popping. People were getting on Craigslist, Backpage, all that, man. So like when they say a digital pivot or, you know, everything's went digital, that's been going on. This is, you got to think about it. Before OnlyFans, there was a Backpage. Before an OnlyFans or all these other little sites, like there was, you know, Craigslist, there was Arrows, there were all these different sites that you know, chicks can get on and play. Yeah.
That was the industry was always at the forefront of the digital change because that's where you kind of had to be, right? Like that's where underground was back then. Internet was underground, so naturally.
You know what OnlyFans did, right? You know what that did? It pulled in your Sarah from next door, your Jane from down the street.
Right.
They want the money, but they don't want what comes with the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just wants the bread and still run free. And see, when I was coming up, you had to pick a struggle. You know what I'm saying? That's what you were doing. That's what you were.
Yeah.
You know, so like for some of these OnlyFans chicks, like y'all just modern day hoes. That's really what y'all doing. It's modern day hoeing. You know what I mean? It's just, only thing is you're not being in the street with it. You're not in a room with it. You're on camera with it and with a guy of your choice that you like.
Well, do you think that OnlyFans has cut into the pimp market? The traditional?
Nope. Because if we can go out right now on Fig, we can go out to many blades across the nation. Hell, we can go hit a city right now and get online and Google for some, and they're gonna pop up. So I don't think OnlyFans stopped anything.
Do you think it's a class thing? Do you think people that are going to buy women on Figueroa over here, right? Famous track, infamous, I would call it, an infamous stroll. Do you think those are like more working class, lower class people?
No, because you know, you gotta think about it, man. I'm sure there's right now that's on Fig that are $2,000 a night.
Really?
For sure.
Wow.
For sure. There's out there at $1,000, $1,500 a night type, you know what I'm saying? And you got some that's only about $450 a night. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this, bro. Like, that's why I think people got to understand. Like, when you hear the word pimp, you hear the word hoe, what do you think of? You think of lower level people. You think of people who are staying in rooms, the rooms up. She's getting beat. She's got bruises. She's trying to put makeup on and fix it. He's over here saying, better get my money. It's not that, bro. Like, them are people, there's people that are doing that, but that ain't what I ever considered the game. You got to elevate. You got to evolve. You have to come from somewhere, granted. But you have to elevate. You don't just stay there, or what are you doing it for? Honestly, at that point, right?
Of course. So at 2,000, if she's selling butt for 2,000 a night, she must have some kind of protection. She must be under somebody, right?
Hey, I got to ask you, wouldn't you want to be under somebody? Think about it. Even though you being a man, if that was something you was doing and you
Can
was
I
a
get
woman,
2 G's a night?
wouldn't you want some type of protection?
Yeah,
Would you,
of
or
course.
not even protection, but somebody who just resonates with you, understands? Do you think that girl can go out there and go get a boyfriend? Yeah, she can. She's pretty enough to do so, but how long does it last?
Because he's about to get jealous.
How long does it last? Or when it just turns him off and he's just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now he goes and finds him a girl up the street that he's on. You know what I'm saying? Some regular, schmegular girl, because that was never for him. He was just there for, it's like the honeymoon phase. The was new.
Right.
Once it starts to feel regular, it's like, what's he clinging to now? Now the whole situation looks up.
So it takes a special, I've always said this. I'm from like I'm a middle class Portland, Oregon weed dealer by trade. You know what I mean? But I always said, like, if I had the charisma, I could lay the P down. I promise you. Cause like, I love money way more than I love, which I think is a prerequisite to having success in this game, right? It's kind of like not doing your own drugs if you're in the game selling dope. Does a chick on Fig get money on the stroll? Is she giving it all up? Is she putting, if she's getting 2,000 from a trick, is she putting 2,000 in Sharp's pocket? Or is there now in this new era of equality, are there like splits now? Because old school pimps will say, no, I keep 100 of it.
Nah, 100%. Keep 100% of it. But I look at it like this, and maybe this is where like the times change. It's like, if I was still moving around like that, I can't keep it broke no more, man. Like I don't want to get called every 2 seconds for $100. For $200. Right. Like that's doing too much. That's too much work with it. I feel like, man, if you got a real stomp down, you know what I'm saying? There's no problem with keeping a few bands on her or keeping 5,000-6,000 on her or whatever, just in case something happens. What if you go to jail? Who's gonna bail you out?
Yeah.
You had all the money. You put everything everywhere. She don't got. So it's kind of like, I feel like it just depends on what type of chick you're dealing with. Right. Some chicks can't have money on them.
Because
they don't know how.
Right.
Yeah, there's some, and I think that's anybody. And there's some people that just don't know how to have money. Yep. You know what I mean? Some people got to learn through it, crawl before they walk. But if you ask me personally, I do believe in keeping some money on a chick, man. Yeah,
that's like sensible.
It's less headache.
Right.
It's less headache. Do you want her on your phone every 2 seconds? I know I don't.
No, I don't want to be exposed like that. I don't want to be around unless I need to.
You know, I mean, I want to be around if I want to too, but I don't want it to be because I had to come pop up to come bring this 200 so she can go get something to eat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or she needs to go grab something from CVS. I'm cool. Like, I don't got time for that, bro. Maybe when I was younger, that's why I say it's levels. Like, I think you just have to outgrow something, get tired of it, and then you'll step your game up. You know what I mean? It's very important, bro, to do that.
But business has to evolve. So if the times change and to keep a chick around, you've got to give her a split, but she's bringing in 2 racks a night.
I ain't got to give her. I'm choosing to make sure this is how I run my program. Like, say if I'm running, that's how I run it. If I want to make sure she's got some bread on her, that's how I'm running my program. Less stress for me. Okay. That's what I always felt like, man, it's about working smart, not hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for her mouthpiece is what moves. See, people always think that in the game, it's always about selling, right? Like, you always think about some flatback, and it's not that, bro. It's really got to have some game to it. Like, you can set a chick down on some of these blades, but what about, of course, they already know what's going on. What about setting her down in a fancy restaurant? Or her going in there looking classy and her having to go sit at the bar, damsel in distress, have a drink. Somebody walks up, she starts the conversation. Maybe 45 minutes, they're upstairs and she's breaking them for $5,500.
Right. Does that still go on?
Of course.
Yeah, that's...
Of course. Like, that's what you like to hear of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I feel like if you want more, you got to do more. A lot of motherfuckers that were in the game, they don't care to invest into their...
Are there a lot of guys like you in the pimp game? Yeah. Or has it become like kind of like a gangbanging, like...
No.
Up kind of deal?
No, like I said, and just to go back to it, it's levels to the Johnny. Of course, there's a bunch of happening up the block this way, that way, and the other way. But when there's a high class in this shit, man. I've always believed in being a gentleman of leisure. You know what I'm saying? And having a classy woman. You get what I'm saying? Like that you could just tell in her appeal. You're not even supposed to notice that she's a hoe.
Yeah. Right.
Until like she's already done broke on you for everything.
Right.
That's when you'll figure it out.
Who? They're not going to get me.
That's when you'll figure it out. Is by the time you figure out that she was a prostitute, right? You had already gotten your pockets broke on.
Mom, I need you to wire me some money.
Man,
she was a prostitute.
Good 10, 15,000. And what's so cold is you're probably going to call her back to come get another 4. For real.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by our longtime partner, Mood. You already know. If you're a fan of the show, then you know Mood by now. They're my favorite online dispensary, and they just got even better. Mood has an incredible selection of federally legal THC products. Their online dispensary offers a wide variety of flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, gummies, vapes, and concentrates. All products ship discreetly right to your door. These guys keep evolving and just released some new gummies that are amazing. They have the new premium testosterone support THC gummies. Each rapid onset gummy contains functional ingredients known to promote vitality, that means a hard, and testosterone production, including DHEA, a testosterone precursor. They have gummies with immune support and even sexual euphoria. What? Seriously? Where else are you going to get this? Head over to mood.com to find the perfect products for your needs. And while you're there, use my coupon code CONNECT20, that's CONNECT20, to receive 20% off your first order plus a free 5-count pack of gummies. If you're a fan of the show, you've heard that 1,000 times by now, and I'm going to tell you one more time. Use code CONNECT20, CONNECT20 at checkout at hellomood.com for 20% off your first order plus a free 5-count pack of gummies. Thank you to Mood, as always, for sponsoring the show. Let's get back into the episode. Sharp, this is shaping up to be my favorite interview I've ever done, dude.
I'm just being honest
and at the end of the day, we're sipping rosé, dude.
We're sipping a little bit of rose.
I'm lightweight, so
a little bit of rosé.
Twisted by the end.
Sitting back, like I said, hey man, I don't got no problems sitting back here and kicking the game with you because you know what? I even say this. I can sit here and explain this backwards, frontwards, up and down.
Well, that's kind
some
of
people still won't get it.
That's kind of what we do on this show. Is we ask the detailed questions that I think a lot of interviewers, no shade to them, overlook. So going back, you're from Detroit, which explains the game.
Was born in Detroit.
But you came up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Did you have pimping in your family?
No.
So, but you're in Vegas. So did you pick it up from the culture or?
No, just friends of mine, man. Just growing up, like, you know, I've hung around gang members. I've hung around drug dealers. I've been around drug users. I've been around a lot of different people. What I took a liking to was the game. I was already good at having.
Right.
So it was like, all right, I can't sell drugs. I can't sell weed. I'm going to smoke that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be trying to sell what you do.
Yeah.
That's like you said, getting high off your own supply. Can't be, but
right.
Not a problem.
And so you just saw that women were would kind of flock to you, or you had women friends. You had friends that were girls from like a really young age.
Up circumstances for us all.
What does that mean?
Meaning everybody, like the people that I've known, we're all trying to get out of the, you know what I'm saying? So we're all trying to figure out ways, whether it's men, doesn't matter. Everybody's trying, my circles, everybody's trying to figure out a way to win.
Yeah.
And don't care what the cost may be sometimes to get there.
And that was a viable economic option when you were 13, 14 years old. Kind of like, you know, back in the 80s, selling crack for like a young dude from Harlem. That was a real way to like come up on some money.
When I was coming up, the crack game was dying though.
Right.
So it wasn't like, there was a handful of crackheads, but there wasn't really where you can get out how they're trying to show you that you're going to make all this money. Oh, you can get out here, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars off selling crack. Man, crack done died.
Yeah.
There's new drugs on the scene.
Right.
And especially when I was like, okay, I can't sell crack. All right, I can't sell weed. I smoke that shit. You know, what am I great with? I see my partners, they moving. They having hoes. They making moves. They dropping off, picking up. They doing all this type of shit. When I was young, I said, that this is what I want to do. And from that point, I promised myself to never be broke again.
Wow.
Never be broke again and kept me.
Wow. And did they choose you?
That's the only way it goes. Gotta choose you. See, that's the problem with people. They always think that it's like, oh, you snatched her up off the corner and made her do this. Nah, that gotta come choose you, man.
Yeah.
She's doing this by herself.
Yeah.
She wants to choose him. She wants to be with him.
Now, is that is that because she's also looking at it as a hustle, as a way to survive, or is she in love with you and sees this as like a way to gain your love? Or could it be a mix of both?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want her to be in love with me. I want her to be in love with my pimping. I want her to be in love with my game.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Because I feel like once she starts to fall in love with you, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Starts to become a problem. Like what I mean by problems is because now everything that she's doing it out of emotion.
Yeah.
It's not really because she understands the layout.
Right.
She's just doing it because she likes you. And I don't, me personally, when I was in the game, I don't like with that are like that. Ones that just like just me. You ain't even got no substance even being here. I want to know that this is something that you wanted to do by yourself. You get what I'm saying?
I do. You're talking about like, as Willie Dynamite said, I want a mean animal. Yeah.
I don't want one that I sit there and like, I put all this, like, it's not going to work out. And I put all this force on all this pressure on the, that's not going to work, Johnny.
Well, you also don't want a secretary in love with her boss, right? In any field.
Love me, but don't be in love with me.
Yeah.
Don't try to, I want you to love from what I do for you and around you. Love that.
Okay, but what, your first hoe was like.
Fall in love with my face, my voice, my smell. That fall in love with what I can do, because that's the problem with a lot of these out here, and that's why they find themselves in up predicaments.
Right.
It's because they're just liking the guy for the time. You don't even know what you really like about him. A face, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The way he might have said something, that.
Yeah.
Find the purpose of why you really that person. I bet you y'all will soar. Everything will strive.
So then what kind of, look, I'm already talking like you, bro. I love this. What kind of wants to sell for a 13-year-old? And like what back then could you do?
Well, we were all lying about our age, man. I was lying, of course. I was lying about my age. I wasn't telling I was 14, 15 years old. Like, I knew how to carry myself older. So I knew how to mask it a little bit better. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to them, they probably thought I played off like I'm 18, 19.
Yeah.
It's like 24, 25.
Yeah. Were these black women at the beginning?
No. Color is no preference in it.
Oh, but I'd like to ask you about this.
Why would you ask me if it was black women?
I'll tell you why. Because
you better have a good reason.
Sure. I got an answer for everything. Because
I'm getting smoking.
Do it.
Right?
Do it. Absolutely. Bro, you do whatever you want.
This is the connect, right?
This is the connect. Bro.
All right, well, I'm going to connect this lighter. Do
that. Better pass out when you're done, motherfucker.
I got you.
Black men always say, like, the stereotype is the black men are like, black women are so hard to deal with. You know what I mean?
Ooh, black women are hard to deal with.
Black women are hard to deal with. This is why every black guy, the stereotype is I'm going to get money and I'm going to get myself a white woman. You know what I mean? So the same would, I guess, hold true for pimping. It's harder to pimp a loud, outspoken, defiant black woman than it is like a snow bunny who ran away from her parents in Reno. Is there any truth to that in the game? Did you find it easier to deal with, a white woman, an Asian woman, than you would a black woman?
When you define a black woman, right, you say loud. They want to say loud, ghetto, want to say all the shit, right?
Well, being stereotypical, of course.
I've met women in all colors that act like that. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
That act just like that.
Sure.
So I don't even think it's like just black women. I think it's a style, it's a cultural style, it's a way of living. The louder woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's got anything to do with the color of their skin. I'd have met white women that were more ratchet than black women.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? I met an Asian woman, bro. You would thought she was, man, like, who is this on the line? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
insane.
right.
So, and like carry those same traits that you were mentioning. So when I look at it, I'm like, I never had any, it was never about color to me. Now, the problem was Tricks had a preference to where they felt like they would want to pay a white woman or a Mexican woman, or not even Mexican. They just want to pay white women. They'll pay white women a substantial amount more.
So they got
money.
the highest dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to pay a substantial amount of money than they would want to pay to my sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think it's because there's some beautiful ass women out here. I don't know, because I done met some black that get dope.
Bro, yeah.
Like, I'm talking about really, I'm talking about really break the bag on them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's a fetish too, especially for white men, rich white men. I mean, dude, I remember
Shout out to my sisters, man.
bro. One of the most gorgeous black women at Spearmint Rhino in Vegas. This is
fine as
bro. Fine. She was so fine and so cool. I was on ecstasy. This was before Ballin' Johnny. This was when I was a broke, struggling comedian.
He was just outside around,
bro. Yeah, I was at a bachelor party there, and I didn't have enough money to like really like pay these chicks. So I was hanging out at the strip club, looking like the coolest ever because I was like, nah, baby, I ain't tricking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they would become interested in me because I wasn't spending money on them. And I asked this black woman, I'm like, you're so bad. I just kept it like a buck with her. I was like, you're so bad. Like, what would it take? Like, how much money would it take to get into bed with you? She's like, you don't even have the dollar amount. I was like, good on you, baby. Now I'm gonna go back there and see if I can change your mind.
And not all, and I'm gonna be real with you, like even like fine ass black, like you know what I'm saying, black women that are strippers, not all of them are selling.
Right. Just
like the white you'll meet in the strip club, she might not be selling. It's everybody. Like I just like, and it's not you, Johnny, because that was a good way to bring it up. I like that, the way you kind of presented it and put it out as an angle. But nobody, bro, it can happen to anybody. Okay. I just want you to get away from the from race. But when it comes to it,
sure,
it doesn't matter.
So your qualifications, though, I mean, because white women tended to get more.
I just like a bad with a good head on her shoulders.
Okay,
man. We can
so that's
get
what
far.
you looked for.
We can get far. Hell, I can get the dumbest white from next door. She don't know.
Right.
It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I want a strong woman. Whether that's a strong black woman, strong white woman, strong Mexican woman, strong Asian woman. You can't, when you're in this game, bro, you can't be like that. That's not the way it works, or you ain't gonna have too much. Or you being in the game ain't gonna have longevity.
Well, how long can a hoe have longevity?
That's why you always got to get them young. And what I mean by young is like 23, 24. So that way, man, you can really smash. You're gonna get about a good 14 years about the.
Jeez, really?
Yeah. You always want to get them like that. Like if you're trying to get a real, like where she ain't got nobody else's problems, because you start getting that are 31, 32, been in the game.
Yeah.
She kind of tainted.
She's bitter.
She's bitter about a lot. She got a lot of problems. She done learned this game and where he's and his up traits and up ways. Now she feels like she can come in and bleed that onto you. As if her is 23, 24, fresh getting in the game, she don't know nobody but you, baby.
Yeah.
She don't know nobody but you.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So now she's picking up your traits, your game. That's how you know you can put you a top-notch hoe out there now, because she's got your mental.
She's malleable. You can show her the ways.
Yeah, she's not over here, well, why? My last dude showed me this. Shut up. Care what your last one showed you. Anything. Obviously didn't work.
So what would be the goal of like a 23-year-old who's saying, yeah, like I choose you, Sharp, like I wanna go out and bust bunions? Like, is there like an end game the way that like a pimp might say, I need $500,000.
I'm gonna be real with you. These days, gotta have her own spot, her own car. You gotta have something to come with me.
Yeah.
You can't just have nothing. Like, I need you to be able, I need a ground base to start with. Then we can build. If you ain't got nothing, that's for a reason. You gotta watch like that don't absolutely have nothing.
Right.
Okay. Watch them.
But with that said, why would a woman who's already got a foundation in the butt business?
Because she don't know how to get over the hump.
And what is that?
And what I mean by that is, let's say this, right? Some chicks, hell, even her right here, she probably stacks up, let's say, off her regular job. She'll stack up, like, the most she probably ever stacked up. Just
you cannot knock Millie. She's not knocking Millie. She's invaluable to our operation.
No, I'm saying, like, just even on a normal note, right? Like, let's say the most she's ever probably put together is like 10 grand she's had at once. Type or 20 grand at once.
Right.
Let's say
from
like
tricking.
No,
from
just her working her regular job,
gotcha.
But she can never get over the hump of the 20 grand. She'll get the 20 and then it'll start to deplete.
Right.
Then she has to work it right back up to the 20. It'll never get past 21, 22, 24. It'll never go up to 38, 72, 180. 300,000. It'll never. She doesn't know how to get over that hump by herself. She plateaus. So it's the same thing with the game. Some of these they plateau. They don't know how to do it. They'll get up a certain amount of money and then they'll start blowing it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Have you helped get that kind of money?
No comment.
Okay, but I guess that would be the best way to have longevity in the game is to help others, right? is to make sure that everybody on your team is winning.
Yeah.
I'm going to make that assumption. I don't want to.
Everybody, listen to me. A bitch is supposed to with you to win. That's why it's called choosing up. You're supposed to choose up, not down, not in the middle, not regular.
And you know what's funny? That holds true in the square world. If I'm trying to woo a woman, she has to choose me first. You know what I mean? Like really, like the woman in a marriage, like the woman has to choose.
You're a square. You want me to tell you why? Tell you why you're a square.
I am a square.
And you know what? So I'm gonna level with you here for a minute, Johnny.
I've been in prison too, bro.
I'm gonna level with you here, right? You ever notice, like you've had relationships, right? You ever notice that you'll spend the majority of the time with that chick trying to prove to her that you're the one for her? You'll spend like for real.
Just
for the
one
average,
time I did. One time.
You get what I'm saying though? Yeah. Like you spend, if you're really trying to engage with a woman, you either you spend time trying to prove to her that you're nothing like her last. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you're trying to prove to her that you're the best that she could ever have. You know what I'm saying? Like you spend a lifetime doing that.
That's a toxic relationship. I did that for 2 years. I learned my lesson. I think men lose. I think lots of men learn that lesson and get over it.
Well, maybe we need to go start door knocking because we got some people to talk to around this.
Though, yes,
because it's going on everywhere.
Yes, if a man is not doing well in his own life, right, financially, whatever, societally, status wise, he will try to put everything into his relationship, and he will turn the woman off. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Okay, so you're 13, 14.
Yeah.
What is? How are you pulling it off? How many girls did you have around that time?
I didn't I just want people to know, like, when I started, bro, I didn't pop off the porch with 10. Right. I didn't pop off the porch with 5.
Who could?
Like, man, you know what it always starts with? A chick you know in the neighborhood.
Right.
For real. And I ain't even gonna say like these was hoes. Like these are just that liked me. Like some of the ones, like even after like that kind of like put me on, she was older. But I felt like maybe I was a little too young. I didn't understand. She put me on, like, to understand what was going on. That's what I think kind of hooked me. And then being around my friends, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's really going on. Because I'm going to be real with you, bro. I was so young, I was blind to it. I didn't get what was going on. Yeah. You know, I'm around it, bro, thoroughly. So I'm not really, I'm trying to act like I know, but I didn't know.
Of course not. That's everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I used to be on Las Vegas Boulevard. I'd be sweating. I'd trip over my words, man. She'd get out of pocket, which means like she'd stop looking at the ground. She'd stop being away and to turn around and laugh at me like, you'll take your little ass home.
Right. But you have to. Everybody has stumbling blocks.
Then when years later, probably about 5-6 years later, I was like the boogeyman. They could smell me in the wind coming. For real.
So what's the game in Vegas at this time? Are you taking it, you taking your bitch and then putting her in the casino?
I'm going to be real with you. Like, it's kind of hard to around in Vegas, man. They do not, bro. Right. Let me tell you something. Pimping is not legal. It's not legal. Hoeing's not legal in Las Vegas. Right. Unless you go work at the Bunny Ranch or like, you know what I'm saying? You go up to Pahrump, you work at Sherry's or Mustang Ranch, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Remember Dennis Hoff and them used to run that up there. You know Dennis Hoff?
No, he was in that.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course.
Him, Heidi Fleiss, all of them, they had that up there popping. Like that was probably the only legal thing.
It's a misconception that pimping and hoeing are legal in Vegas because it is so rampant.
Yeah.
So
it's not. Now I don't want nobody to
really.
It's pimping and hoeing is very illegal.
Right. No, of course, but it's illegal in every city. But it is. You wouldn't say it's extremely prevalent in Vegas because that's where people come to be degenerate and gamble and cheat on their wives.
Ain't getting down, and I ain't trying to put too much game about what goes on in Vegas because I know they be watching. All I can say is it's still going on, and people have figured out their ways around it.
Right.
But don't nobody want to get stopped by Vice. I remember being out. I was at the Bellagio one night, right, some years back. Tell you a story. I was at Bellagio. I seen this one little bitch. I done seen her before, so I got up on her. I started sweating her, and for some reason. Sweating her means like I'm trying to move her. I'm talking to her. Like I'm sitting in her ear talking to her.
Oh, we got our audiences. We're hip.
And I've seen the before, and I've seen her before, and normally she kind of moves away from me. This time she grabbed me by my arm and she was like, here, just come on, just walk with me. I'm like, what you mean walk with you? I had to kind of pick up that she had Vice following her. We go out to the valet. I'm trying to help the get up out of there. This ain't even my like, I'm just trying to help the get out of there, because I can tell it's something that's behind us that we need to keep moving forward. I kind of I felt her whole presence. I'm like, what the We get outside, and my car's in the valet. And I say, all right, come on. He slides up behind her, Vice. He slides up. He says, he slides in her ear. He says, tell your daddy you ain't coming home tonight. Takes her on, like, right? Whoa. Grabs her up, like, and starts trying to walk her back into the casino to take her to in-house. You know what I'm saying? So, I said, man, what the He said, shut the up and keep walking. I said, man, you ain't about to do You can't pin this on me no way, so you, motherfucker. Straight up, she was just walking with me. But like they see, bro, that eye in the sky, Vice be out.
It's hot.
Yeah, Vice be outside, bro.
So is that why you went to San Diego?
I mean, I've been going to San Diego since I was young. So it wasn't that wasn't the reason of why.
Is that this right here?
What, this S on my neck?
Or is that the Seattle Mariners?
It's a Seattle Mariners sign, but I always said the S is for sharp and the compass is for it's going places.
Yeah, bet.
You feel me? So like that's why I've had it for years.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
So a lot of people don't know this. San Diego, Seattle, Washington, these are very, very active pimp tracks. At least they were back in the day. Now tell me why let's start with Seattle.
Okay.
Where Gorgeous Dre, that was his
Aurora
territory.
And all that up there.
Yeah. Why is a place like Seattle, Washington so active with pimping and hoeing? And all that rain and
because there's money up there.
But
I'm gonna tell you this: if you see down somewhere, or if you see it going and you wonder why they're outside, it's because there's some money there. They've touched it there before. They know it's there, or one of their partners, somebody done told them, "Hey, you need to go over there."
Yeah,
it's not just happening for nothing, Johnny.
No, of course not. Of course not. But Seattle's Seattle's such a funny example, bro, because they're just such goofy white people up there, and it's just raining all the time.
With some goofy white money. Guess what? Everybody's bored. That's what that means, and everybody's looking to get into something.
Sure. Yeah, I think San Diego, I think it's the base. I think when there's like a Navy base, there's any place with like soldiers that are gone for 9 months, and then they're here for 3, and they just want to run wild, you know what I mean, and go pay for some. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think Seattle's the same way. They got like blue collar workers at the port. They got bases up there.
Why you think like a lot of chicks will go up to like Dakota and get next to them oil rigs?
Exactly, bro. Those guys have nothing to spend that money on.
Think about how much some oil rig dudes make.
Hundreds of thousands a year, and they live for 0. That's why the cartel's moving all that fentanyl.
And they live for what again? 0. They have they don't have nothing else to do but get some and drink.
Right.
Because they got to be right back to.
Do you think that like there are just cultural things about San Diego? Like it became the market was ripe for some pimping, and one pimp told another pimp, and then it just kind of became this known place. Because I remember being locked up with dudes talking about pimping in San Diego.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Or Oakland.
Don't take it as shout out to Oakland. There's some up there. Don't take it as like, well, why you're mesmerized. How did it start in San Diego, bro? There's a little bit of pimping going on in every state, in every city. There's some real ones from there. You know what I'm saying? So San Diego just falls in the matter at hand. And I don't really want to get into detail about how it kind of came together and why it's like that, but we've always been known as some cross-country gentlemen, so we're well-traveled.
Yeah, interesting.
So it was nothing to bring some of that game back.
Do you think, like, just the way the dope dealers back in the day, crack dealers from South Central were in Kansas City and Texas?
There was crack dealers and dope dealers in San Diego.
Right, of course.
It's everywhere.
But do you think pimps are usually have a couple of different cities? You think they're usually moving around like that?
I mean, if you can, that would be ideal.
What was your experience like? Was San Diego like your main stroll? Was that your main?
I'll be real with you, man. Like, yeah, El Cajon was cool to play, but like everybody play the net or play the clubs.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You play that. If you wanted to see some dope, like I love the setting down, getting her down, getting to some bread. That's cool. But if I can touch it on the masses, your job is to keep the safe.
Right.
Put her in safe situations and not put her through hell and fiery flames and hula hoops and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to make it to where the can really get some bread at ease. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not mad at the that's still setting down, but I'm gonna be real with you. If she ain't a Blade Runner, I'm trying to get the to go get to some dough, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? If that's what I'm doing.
Now, is that
if I'm in the game today, I'm playing the lines. I'm playing the clubs. I'm playing the lines. I'm playing the fancy restaurants. Hell, I'll play Target.
Right.
I'll go outside and go play Target over to Target.
Yeah, there's some tricks at Target.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's a blade. Let me tell you something, bro. It's a blade everywhere you go. Everywhere you, and what I mean by that is it's whatever you make it.
Right.
It's wherever you, man, whether you put the in the club, whether you do send the to Target, you got the out there at Target 5 days a week. Getting it.
You're too much, bro.
Getting it, bro. You never know. It's wherever, be able to get money wherever she sets her 10 toes.
So a pimp really functions as a classy security guard. At the end of the day, am I close with that?
Well, I look at it like this. It's more of a security in itself. Every woman wants to feel secure. Every woman wants to be wanted by a man genuinely, right? She knows, and back to what we were saying earlier, she knows that getting a boyfriend or getting somebody that's square, it's probably not going to last long, dog. Right. You can only mask it and cover it up so much. I've said it before. I'm like, when he's coming in from a long day of work and he wants a hot plate and he wants to take a shower and lay up next to his chick, she's in here getting ready for work to go out to go do what she's about to go do. Right. And she's not going to be back till 4 or 5 in the morning. How long do you think that's going to last, Johnny? Ask yourself that. How long do you think that lasts? She's got to get with somebody who understands, somebody that she can connect with.
So then that must be really hard then, you being this guy. It must be hard to make her not fall in love with you in many ways. I'm sure she loves you as like a daddy and she admires you.
I don't want her to love me as her daddy, you know, because I know what people think by that. Like, oh, well, they be having father issues or like that. Right. Like, man, I know the square up the block that got father issues. I mean, everybody got some type of issues in their life, bro. I don't blame that on the reason why some people chose what they chose. Like I said, man, you can have I'm sure there's politicians right now that have daughters that are in the game. Garen, no, you know, maybe.
OnlyFans. I think those are the ones that are online.
Well, I'm glad you got a crystal ball over here and you can see what everybody's over here brewing and doing. But I'll tell you this, you'd be surprised.
What was the wildest example of that in your stable or in your time? What was the wildest example of that, of you having a chick who was from like a high class
from a dope ass family, all that money? Because you know what, bro, I got good friends in this, like high profile friends that families are actors we all know, and I'll tell you about it offline. And I asked my partner, man, I was like, why don't you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? I was like, why are you doing all this? He says, I don't want to live in my father's shadow.
Wow.
He says, I don't want to be known like as his, like that's all I'm ever going to be known as when they see me as Whoop-de-Whoop's kid.
Oh, so he's pimping actually. You're talking about pimping.
Well, he done around in the game a little bit. Right. Like, people don't know.
No, but
like,
I mean,
what people do it for.
I'm talking about like hoeing though. That's, to be a pimp is one thing, right? But to be a hoe, to be
it's the same.
Of a senator,
don't want to live under his shadow.
Wow, that is.
It's the same. Don't want to be attached to that. They're tired of that. Why do you think you start seeing them type of chicks run off and be the black sheep of the family? They get tired of that, man. They've had it all in their life.
Have you?
The given to them. Some people. That's what I do respect about some people, though, is because they'll have them situations, but they still want to get out and make it on their own. I can respect the. Out of that, like not want to live off of mommy and daddy's trust funds.
Yeah.
They got left for you and the allowances they may leave you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
All that.
But for a chick to pick that as the way to rebel that's a little up.
No, it's not.
Okay, I like it. One man's opinion.
You've never seen worse? You've never seen worse than that?
I guess to become like a junkie.
Yeah, you've never seen worse than that. I think being a junkie is the worst.
But do you have a daughter though?
Yeah, I do.
So what would happen? Remove yourself from this.
Go ahead and just ask me.
Well, I'm trying to be tactful about it.
Be direct.
What if your daughter did that? To rebel at you, she hated you that much, or she was in she felt neglected so much that she ran off and got with a P and started selling her body, this queen.
You know what I say? What if I did everything in my power to make sure that she veered away from that and she still did it?
Yes. There's going to be some therapy. There's going to be some therapy needed later.
I look at it like this, and I've said this. I would never want my daughter to be a prostitute. Okay. But if she ever was, I would want her to at least be it. Whatever you are in life, whatever you do, Johnny, be that for real.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be for play.
Right.
I can respect a homie that really does what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't nobody know they walk a life. Like, we know some people that's pump faked, been, quote unquote, posers.
Right.
But the real ones, hey man, who am I to say what made her feel like that? I can give her the entire world, never expose her to that, never put her in the mix of that. Hell, you can have a daughter, never expose her to that, never put her into that, none of that. But guess what? She ends up ending up with a pimp anyway, or just ends up being a hoe, getting money. Yeah. She's a, you know what I'm saying, call girl, classy one.
Would you think the internet?
You seen her at one of your buddies' parties, said, what's my daughter doing here? What's been going on? What she's doing up here? We called a bunch of prostitutes, you guys.
Been there. Listen. been there.
Yeah.
Been there. I told myself back when I was young and in the drug game, I would never pay for, because that was like
joke
taboo,
was on
right?
you, wasn't it?
Bro, the joke was on me, bro. And then I got one of Sharp's,
You may have.
track runners.
You may have.
Thoroughbreds.
You may have.
What's the busiest you've ever been? How many people have you had on your team?
Most I probably had on my team because I've had that I wouldn't really even consider just because they're giving me some I like you money. I don't really consider that. Like, then what I mean by I like you money is, bitch might give you a couple bucks, but you don't see her no more until like a few weeks. Like, she might hit you up a month from now, whatever, She
moonlights.
I don't really consider, I don't really consider them type of something that I don't count them.
Right.
But the most I've had at once in my entire time, at once I could probably say I've had 7.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Running 7 days a week.
Feels like? You want me to tell you what that feels like? You know how it is to deal with people, 7 people, and nobody's the same?
Oh, and women?
Think about it. Nobody's the same.
Bro.
Everybody's DNA and the way they work is completely different.
Right.
And even if it wasn't, she was the same as this, she doesn't want the same as this. So she's going to make it complicated. Right. So either way, you lose.
And do they get jealous? They must get jealous of each other, right?
I mean, I look at it like this. Why is there jealousy when we're a family? I don't get that.
Bro, that's why folks at home, America, whatever you think about Pimpin', what he just described, you have to respect at least a little bit, dude. Yeah. Because most married men can't get their wife to give them even though they pay the mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they have to take them out to a Paul McCartney show.
These dudes are the biggest tricks. Exactly. They be right at home. Be pimping them. She's keeping them asleep.
So it's that is incredible. That's remarkable. So it's incredibly stressful, I assume.
For sure. Right? For sure. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I emphasize that for all my brothers that's in the game. Because they don't look at what the pimping go through.
Yeah.
They don't give a They don't give a what type of, because you ever notice, Johnny, we sit here and we'll talk about you had more sympathy about, it's got to be up for the, right? Of course, the pimp, you shunned us. You didn't give a about it.
No, I was going to get to you guys.
No,
you only 45 minutes through. Bro.
No, but you weren't going to, but you would have did that already, though, when you were talking about it. You immediately started to, sympathize with, ain't that up? Why would she do this? Y'all never asked us. Y'all never really gave about why we did what we did. I'll be honest with you. That's why the game, maybe that's cool, but look how you were programmed for it already.
Layperson, yeah.
It's just the way it is. I'm not even mad at you for it.
You're right.
I just wanted to point it out.
No, it's great because most people probably don't understand how that affects the pimp.
I got some real up homies in this.
Right.
I just lost a homie to this.
Wow. He committed suicide?
No. Man, it ain't even.
Well, look, a lot of pimps we know.
I just lost a homie to this, man. Wow. I'll tell you something, homie. Don't ever get it up. We go through it too, dog.
Yeah.
No matter what nobody say. Like, I don't give a They always want to treat us like, oh, we the heartless ones. We this. Man, come on, dog. I love my kids just like the man do next door. I want to live just like the man do next door. I ain't asking for much. Asking for equal opportunity. And guess what, Johnny? If I find that by me sending a or doing whatever the it is that I'm doing, as long as I ain't robbing you, killing you, up your whole life and situation, why do you give a You ain't hearing cries and you ain't hearing faint cries and screams coming from next door from my house. So why do they give a why they so invested?
Right.
You know, why they so invested?
Because they want to control it.
Exactly. They don't know how to tax it.
Yeah, of course.
They always looked at like low lives. Pimps is low lives. So they start seeing having 7 houses all over the country, 20 vehicles. He's got 30 all over the country or what. That's when it became a problem. Like, oh, he's having more money than us. Hold the on. What's going on? Let's put a pin in this.
So, what does it do to your mind?
What doesn't life do to your mind? Think about where we live at, dog. Think about what we do, what we have to deal with every day when you get up and you walk out the door.
I'm doing great. I live in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you're doing great too, bro. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to think about like the things that you have to face. You can walk up the block. Not everybody's in a good mood. You never know, bro. Like you could walk up the block tomorrow to go try to get some coffee, and there could be just some motherfucker that's just pissed off at the world. He sees you. You having a good day, he just off you. Then what? Just because, like, bro, we live in up times. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be happy, but that don't mean that the people around you are. That's why I always say, don't just watch for yourself. Watch for others, bro. Watch around you. Hell, they teach you that in driving school. You're supposed to watch for the people around you. You don't watch for yourself.
Do you think it's a bad time to be a pimp? Do you think the human trafficking laws
Well, what's human? What's human?
Stigma?
All that. What's human trafficking to you? What is it to you? Break it down to you. I want to hear what your theory is. Yeah, what is human trafficking?
I know more than the next. But to me, human trafficking is trafficking people against their will across borders. You know what I mean? Human trafficking to me is not a pimp taking his teammate, his hoe, to Vegas for Super Bowl weekend to go get some money. But that's what the government is now using as an excuse to really hammer pimps, give him big fed time. You know what I mean? So do you feel like you had to fall back because of that? Or do you think that's the game up?
Yeah, because I'm going to be real with you. Like, I felt what even, you know what I'm saying, Pimp and Ken said. Shout out to Pimp and Ken. That's my partner. Like, he said, like, when I interviewed him, he was like, man, I changed when the laws changed.
Right.
Like, when it's becoming a point to where it's like, you can't fight that. Like, what the like, living off the earnings. They figure out, they got so many different laws set in place.
Did you ever do a bid?
Nope, almost did, though.
That's impressive.
Almost did. Luckily, I didn't have an extensive record of it. Like, and I ain't have no felonies prior. Because if I did, hell yeah, I'd have been up the creek. Yeah. Yeah, they would send me up for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that all takes a play. Like, how I tried to keep it as sharp as I could throughout the years. Like, yeah, I had a record, but it wasn't to where they were constantly catching me with hoes.
Who gave you the name Sharp?
My partner, Juice Jones.
That's sick.
My partner, Juice Jones in Chicago.
How old were you?
17.
Yeah. God damn, he nailed it.
Yeah, 17.
So did you get money in Chicago?
Yeah.
What was your most profitable city, you think, back in the game?
It's up because that's where I caught my case. But Tennessee.
No. Where? Knoxville? Nashville. There's a lot. There's got to be a lot of money in Nashville.
Where I caught my case was like 40 minutes outside the city. I was playing Williamson County, Franklin, Tennessee at the time.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's the Boondocks.
That was probably my most.
Wow.
Like the most.
Wow.
Like, I was like,
wild as that, bro.
And I always think because of the way it was coming in at the time, like I was like, damn, this motherfucker's booming. I was thinking about getting a spot there, everything, and boom, I get cracked, of course.
Oh, God damn it.
You know?
They get any money?
Yeah, a little bit, not much.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about pimping, though. Like, it's such a better.
They hit me up, bro. They took everything.
Really?
They took like what I had on me at the time. Like, they took everything. Like, I got out with no cell phone. It was evidence.
The women, back to the hoes for a little bit. Do you think any of them got out of the game? You've seen them cycle through. You've cycled through so many in all your years, right?
I have.
How long would the average one stick around? And what ultimately would become of them? Like, did some of them get out and have normal lives and open businesses? Did others fall in, go to the dark side and become junkies? Like, whoa.
I feel like the ones that probably stuck with whoever they chose for years probably got something going. But the ones that constantly choose, like a blow up, go to the next situation, blow up, sometimes you got to follow your money. Right. You got to follow your money. Like, and when some don't do that because they feel like, oh, the going's getting tough, he's not doing what I want him to do, I can always go pay the next. They want to pay to conform a man. Yeah. Instead of having to muscle through a few things sometimes and be like, maybe not everything's sweet.
So those didn't have loyalty.
Yeah, they don't have loyalty, and that loyalty ends up biting them in the ass in the long run. Like, they just sit there and constantly choose pimp after pimp after pimp after pimp, never have a super great career. Right. They never have a super great career, and then they end up finding themselves alone and being an esthetician or being a hairstylist or being something like in like skincare or whatever. Like and this is the truth. Like, they'll all go to that. I noticed that. Like, it's like clockwork. It's fascinating for real, man.
Because that's
like,
fast money.
Yeah.
They're used to dealing in cash.
They're used to dealing with
doing
fast
nails
money.
is $80.
So they'll go over to these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Body sculptings, and they'll start doing like that because you said they want some fat, like they're used to fast money, so they're trying to get right back to that. Right. So that's where I've seen a lot of, like, to be honest with you, bro, I've seen a lot of chicks go right to immediately.
Do you have memorable ones that stayed down with you for a long time, years?
You're a funny one.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate
that. For real, I feel like Mike Tyson when old boy just like, he be asking piece of questions, but I like it.
That's what I do here, dude.
You ask piece
That's
of questions.
my niche, bro.
And I like that. And my niche is to be able to tell you that was some piece of shit.
Facts, bro. This is why we're podcasters, bro. This is,
to be real, like, I mean, yeah, I've had, of course, I've had chicks, man. I've had 5, 8 years, but it just, where are they now? They ain't here. So I guess, like, to me, it doesn't matter. And that's that's a really genuine statement. Like, to me, I would really count them if they were here. I'd be like, well, you know what? There's these couple that, like, really, man, they don't matter because them ain't here. So they ruined that whole don't even matter anymore. Hell, I feel like I was more wasted time than anything.
5 to 8 years, though, of selling for you? You got to respect that at some level, or
but
appreciate
I mean, shit, hey, you're not here. So where are you now?
So you would be upset if your bottom is left or feel some kind of way?
No, I just remember. So don't get mad at me when I feel some type of way when you try to come crawling your ass back.
Wow. So
my door ain't always a revolving door. So you think that would sound like it's always cool for some money? Nah, not all money's good money. Not all money's good money, man.
Straight.
That's how a lot of them get caught up in jams and shit with like, this is a tainted and sour, but the gets bread. It's like, you're like, all right, I can put up with a little bit just to touch this and that and get that going, but then you end up yourself in the long run and putting yourself in a situation that costs you way more than what the is giving you.
A lot of are telling on their pimps now, you know? Did you ever have that happen?
I've never been told on,
Okay.
Never been told.
Did that ever worry you?
I mean, you had to think about it, bro. I had 5 co-defendants in Tennessee that were all females and none of them told.
Wow. That's solid, bro.
Nobody said, I mean, none of us said anything. Myself, nobody.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's easier to beat a case like a pimp case than it is to beat like a dope case. Like, there's a lot more mitigating circumstances. There's a lot more like deniability, right? But when you get caught with drugs, it's like, hey, I got a bag of cocaine. There's not much.
Why mad about this?
You know what I mean?
Like, why they be so mad, bro?
You're so right about that. Like, have you ever been to Colombia or Mexico?
No, I haven't. But I've been invited to Colombia, and let me tell you.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you.
You better not go there, bro.
I should.
bro.
I probably ain't coming back.
You ain't coming back, bro.
And probably not even in a good way, gang. I'm
No,
probably not coming back, bro. Because I already know myself.
Exactly.
I get over there, I'm a relapse. And I ain't talking about coke. I'm just talking about all them badass Colombian. I'm about to relapse. I'm about to turn into Rodrigo from up the hill. My whole house gonna be cracking all the time, dog.
Dude, me and you got more in common than you think.
My house will always be cracking. Be like, you wanna go up there to sharpen them house?
Right.
Hell yeah.
Like
They say call him Rodrigo now.
Yeah.
Like, that's my name. That's the only way you get up here.
But you know, it's funny because I've been going down there for a lot of years, right?
Right. Well, Colombia.
Yeah, I haven't been back there in years, like in probably 5 years. But when I was a young man
That's a while now.
and having money, like that was.
Seems like you haven't been having money lately. It has been 5 years since you've been there. What's going on?
Right. Lately, I could go back now. Now's time for me to go back.
Why'd you go back? Money problems? Money issues?
No, because I'm having the opposite, bro. It's addiction. I don't want to relapse either, bro.
Right.
I know what that's gonna do. That's my Vegas.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's my
I
alcohol.
know what you do.
So
yeah, I ain't gonna talk about it, but I know what you do. I see it in your eyes, and you're just in your face.
dude, sex work is real work. I'm spending tourism money,
You love
dude.
that, but you like something else too up there.
Oh, not even really. Not as much as you think, because I used to get it off. So I get very scared about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never liked coke.
You probably
as a
be
drug.
scared of it more now, right? Because
For sure.
people putting fentanyl and things like that. So I would understand.
I like mushrooms. I like maybe
Like
once a
body
year
highs.
acid. Yeah, exactly. I like
body highs.
natural. I like, mind expanding.
You ever smoke peyote?
No. Have you?
Well,
No, you're lying.
I have.
No, you have. You smoke peyote.
Yeah, I've smoked some peyote before.
Damn. Or don't they usually
Crazy,
come in
right?
buttons?
Hey, man, listen to me. No, bro. We had smoked some. I was up on what's
the
that?
craziest
The
shit
Paiute
I've ever
Tribe Indian Reservation. Because like in Vegas, they got their own reservation up
Right.
there. They got their own police and everything, dog.
Yep.
So like, yeah, like when you go up there on them properties, you be surprised what motherfuckers got. For real.
Yeah, I bet. Bro.
I mean, they told me that's what it was.
It gets you.
And like you
On the
just
moon?
feel like I felt like I was sitting next to myself.
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
Yeah.
I felt like I was sitting next to myself. I'm like, what the fuck? I was a kid, bro. I was young.
Yeah. That's like smoking spice, dude. Never spoke
I
spice.
would never. I remember people smoking that stupid ass shit.
Oh, dude. I did
It's
it
cheap.
once on like a dare. Bro, it takes you into this hole, and it was the most terrifying thing I'd ever done. It's crazy.
Spice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Spice in a long time.
But I can't remember what we were talking about, bro. This is what happens when you get me blunted and
Yeah.
Pour-
We're talking
pour a
about
cup.
Colombia.
So Colombia. So these girls.
I got to keep it on track. Like,
Who's hosting this?
we're talking about Colombia.
Can you take
I mean,
over for the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Colombia. I'm like, you were
The
saying.
Connect, hosted by Sharp,
You were
dude.
saying why you weren't, why
Right,
you didn't
so-
go up there no more. 'cause
Right.
you're like,
So yeah.
Vegas.
I used to go there and in Colombia when I was balling up with drug money, I would go there and I'd buy like some top notch, right? And it was just fly, like, so. But I would talk to these chicks and they would have regular jobs. You know what I mean? But in Colombia, they're making like $10 a day at their job at the mall or as a secretary. So part time, they just go dudes for money. And it's not a big deal at all. Like it's completely society functions. There's no stigma. It is what the fuck it is. So you're right. That's how it should be in America. But America's always had this stigma around sex, and it comes from our Christian roots. But it's also why there's a real lucrative pimp game. It would be hard to pimp a chick in Medellin. You know what I mean? It's just the culture isn't really like that. Plus, it'd be dangerous.
You'd be surprised
It'd be dangerous, but you get killed.
If I go down
doing
there
nothing
speaking
down there.
fluently, if I knew how to speak fluently,
That'd be sick.
I'd be a bad man.
That'd be sick.
Bro, I go down there, I'd figure out a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
All right,
somebody's got to try.
New reality show,
Not
dude.
saying everybody get no idea, but I'm just saying if I was to go down there, like somebody got to try, bro.
Someone's got to try.
Yeah,
Hey,
most
I got a new
definitely.
reality show, dude.
What?
That's
That'd be
Sharp in Colombia.
that'd be insane,
Yeah.
church. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the game, like I said, man, the game is, of course, and like you were saying earlier, it definitely is. It definitely has changed in a lot of ways, because back in the day, it was when I'd be outside or I'd be on the strip and I'd be sweating or some of my partners, whatever be happening, the most you would ever hear the police say was like, they'll get on the intercom or whatever from the car and just be like, hey, man, he's up on the prostitutes, you guys. Like, who wouldn't say much. Now you can't even wear a suit. I got homies that wear suits there promoters like that stand outside and try to get people limos and get them to clubs.
Right.
Police will come arrest them.
Wow.
Like acting like they pimping. Like it's weird. It's like it's some weird.
That's so useless.
It's weird, man. And I'm like, man, like, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
Like, but I only feel like they did that, bro, for a reason. And I'm gonna tell you why. Let's think about it. Nine times out of 10, and we'll go to race for you real quick, since we would talk about race.
I love racial stereotypes. All right. Throw them at me all day.
So 9 times out of 10, what race is a pimp?
Black.
See how quick you were able to say that off the dribble, no problems. Right. It was
ingrained in my consciousness.
It was ingrained. So
I love this word association.
Drug. Hey, let's be honest, right? The drug game ain't been cracking like that no more. That's how they used to put a lot of us away.
Right.
They were getting us back in the day when the crack game and the
everybody
dope
had
game was big. You know what I'm saying? That kind of slowed down. The laws didn't change. They're letting a lot of people out on a lot of that these days, right? Like, because the laws have changed. People who got hella years for that now are getting released. So they got to figure out a different way now to bag us.
Right.
Okay, we see y'all playing with the pimp game. Oh, this what y'all like? All right, cool. Let's start putting, that's why you see my getting 100 years, 50 years, getting thrown under the jail, forgot about, like, doesn't matter. He got a trafficking charge, Trafficking, it makes it sound ugly.
Right. Well, I think
it's an ugly word.
I think there's a huge stigma against pimps in the larger society, though, and that's why the law is coming down on it. I think the Me Too movement had a ton to do with just that in general, sex trafficking, sexual harassment, anything that had to do with the perceived exploitation of women. This pendulum is completely swung. And they're just not tolerating it.
They're not tolerating it, man, at all. And I just feel like, is this shit's got to be sick, because it never used to be that type of a problem. Now, look, dog, I get it. If I'm sitting there waterboarding or you're her up and you're over there putting cigarettes out on her, you're chopping off thumbs and trying to take the doctor and get sewed back on. I get it. There's a problem with this, man. Some of these people are sick.
Yeah,
there's a lot of sick people that mask themselves behind a lot of stuff, right?
Sure.
That'll use a label to do shit through. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't think pimping is exonerated from that. There's people that'll use the word, oh yeah, well I'm pimping this to have around and do this shit that he's doing to her. You don't know.
Just like any business, there's
you
bad,
get what I'm
there's
saying?
good.
Yeah, like
I agree.
And there's people that infiltrate everything.
Yeah. No,
every 100%. Genre of that, you know?
Bro, it's cops trying to justify their jobs. Look, weed is legal now, so there's a bunch of weed cops we don't need anymore. There's way less crack.
That's true.
There's a lot less, murder even. Murder is down from like the 80s and 90s. So cops need to go somewhere. So like, hey, we got Vice Squad budget. You know what I mean? And
people will take to it to try to get some bread, because like you said, like the weed cops like that, if this all legal, why do they have a job?
Right.
They don't got a job at that point. Now it's like they got to move on to the next.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of like people stereotyping what they think the game is, or me, or anybody that comes from it. Like, if you're going to do that, at least be a part of it. Walk up the damn street with it a little bit. Go see it in direct. Don't sit there and watch it on TV and let that be your determining factor how you feel about it.
Sure.
Because they're always going to put it out there to you the way they want to put it out there to you.
What is I want to level with you now. Yeah. We built a relationship. We're fast friends, Yeah. What do you regret most about the game? Do you regret the life at all?
To be honest with you, I regret a lot and nothing at the same damn time. Because I might have went through a lot of heartaches, hardships, whatever, hardships like that. Like I've been through a lot, and did I want to go through any of that? No, I didn't want to go through any of that. But then I think about it and where I'm at today, I'm like, damn, what would I have been without that? That's scary, because that's something I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known what I was without any of it. I know who I am today. I know I can go and make this happen impossible tomorrow.
Right.
Right? Like I know my worth. I know how to move. I know how to use the knowledge that I've gained from everything that I've went through to be able to bring it to my future and be able to move me to have a better week, a better next year, whatever. What would I have been without that?
So you really, the pimp game really made you successful.
Yeah, like what would I have been without that? Yeah, I had a lot of sad times. Yeah, there's a lot of sad. Everybody has it.
What is the saddest about pimping? Is it because it's such a lonely life? Because
it's a lonely game, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of are like a good haircut. They could be here today and gone tomorrow.
Right. So it sounds like you were getting attached to some of your.
No. I feel like I always attached myself to the situation because a pimp always needs some bread.
Right.
A pimp always needs some bread. So you got to always think about it. Well, for me, always leave at the wrong times. They can't never leave when you're up.
For sure.
They make sure they don't leave when you're up.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying? They always gonna make sure they leave when they feel like, okay, he's at the lowest point.
Story is
I'm not
always
really
time,
leaving
dude.
much behind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's like, don't get ghost, church.
Oh God.
You feel me?
Yeah, dude.
Like real is the truth. It's the name of the game.
What was the? Were you friends? Like what did you feel like on a relationship level that your were to you? Were they just employees or were they co-Ds? Did you feel that camaraderie that, like, you know, two bank robbers or two guys in the game selling drugs felt like a kinship?
You don't feel like Pimping and Han's a real relationship, do you? You don't feel like it's a serious relationship?
No, I do. Gorgeous Dre's parents were married.
Do you feel like that's a serious relationship?
Serious in what way?
Pimping and Han. Do you feel like it's a serious relationship, or do you feel like it's just like whatever? He's just taking the money from her.
I think it all depends. No, I think there can definitely be serious relationships between a pimp and a hoe.
Okay,
but I'm asking about you specifically.
Well, I always look at it like this. I've always had serious relationships because anybody that I've ever dealt with, I've taken them serious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to be able to, whatever this chick may go out and do, no matter what she got to say, I'm still comfortable with her going, taking a shower and coming and laying in the bed next to me. You know what I'm saying? And not thinking twice about what she just did. Not looking like, damn, I wonder what she was just doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or anything, man. I'm just like, baby, turn out the light before you lay down. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't. Right. Yeah, I don't have that thought in my mind of like, well, I wonder what she was doing tonight. Man, I don't give a I know what the we got to do and what we taking care of. That's my investment.
So were you having sex?
Yeah, I've had sex with a lot of my, of course. Who am I supposed to go?
Right. Well, you've heard, what's that?
Parliament.
I mean, I want one, but we're in the studio, man. You can do anything in here but smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, we got to move you immediately.
We don't have ventilation, dude. We don't even have AC in this joint.
I wouldn't have told any of them that. I would have just
No,
said,
they know I filmed this in a garage. I'm candid about this.
Yeah. So they know that you're
and they still f with me.
They should.
That's how good I am.
They should. No, they should.
Okay, so that makes sense. Because, you know, look, a lot of my pimping rudimentary knowledge comes from American Pimp, the Hughes Brothers documentary back in the 90s. So those were old school players who were like, these get no cut and you never sleep with them. And so that's where I'm
sleep with them.
That's what I heard a couple of them say.
No, you never gave them no cuts. You always took care of them because the was always around you. But now these getting cross country, man, they might be here, there. You can't be everywhere.
Right.
You can't be everywhere. No. So what you gonna do? Go run up over here to Milwaukee to go do this real quick and give her $200 and then try to hurry up and get back on the plane and go give this $50?
Right.
What the f is going on? Yeah. Like, you got to make sure everybody's taken care of, man. Believe in your team. That's the only way to make the dream work, church.
So at your height, you know, seven deep in the stable.
I've had it.
What are you turning around? Yeah.
And I knew it was like really not to sleep with all of them. Like, I had a house of 7. Where I just fall asleep on the couch, man. Man, come out and just take turns just laying next to me. Had an L-shaped couch, man. They just come lay their head next to me. Couple hours here, and next just a couple hours here. And it wouldn't be on no sexual, nothing. Just I'm just wanting to be close.
Mm-hmm. What could 7 bring you back in 1 week? Or a night. What's a good night? Or an average night, you know?
Well, it's always been said that, you know, they're supposed to bring you back the world. and everything in it, you know? But, I mean, you look at it like this.
Let me hit that on that note, bro.
Yeah, it never, it doesn't matter.
20 bands.
Because you got to think about it, man. This might hit for 20 bands. This might hit for 2,500. This might hit for 3,500. This might only hit for 15. This you
so
never know.
Could they bring
that's the excitement about it is,
right.
man, you never know when you set your game down.
Right.
When you set them the down, what the about to come back. That's the exciting part about it.
Sure. Yep.
Because they're set to go move the world.
Right. It almost is kind of like hitting at the casino in a way. Because
in this, you're always winning, even if you only make $100.
But you make way more than that. With
of course, but I'm just saying,
bitches.
it's different than gambling.
Right.
You got to put some money down.
Yeah, right. With this, you got to put your life down.
Your life and your game. Everybody's putting their life on the line every day.
Can I just get a straight answer for clickbait? So how much money would 7 bring you in one night?
Lease. You want to touch at least a 25, 30 piece, if not more.
Bro.
Especially if you got some go-getters and they're really out mashing.
Right.
Some real masters. I ain't talking about none of you little dookie booties.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like some real ones that all understand, that all know how to come together, even if she got to call her wifey over here like, look, I got to play up over here. Come over here. We about to get ready to hit this like 20.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Wow.
Like, you got to make sure everybody's together has one. It's a camaraderie, man. Like, that's the only team that you're a part of. They be trying to put pimps together and give RICO cases. I'm not with that. Like, everybody plays this a one-man sport if they're playing it. There is no crew, bro.
No.
There's not gangs of pimps.
Sorry, I need that lighter again.
There's not gangs of pimps,
No,
Johnny.
of course
Like,
not.
you know
so
what I'm
how do
saying?
they call it a RICO? Is it because it's a group of, they obviously put the in the...
Well, when they start seeing on camera, they start seeing people together in rooms and like that. They start thinking that, oh, they're all doing it together. It's like that thing. Whoever put that together was crazy.
Right.
Y'all just trying to put extra charges to be playing.
They know you're not organized.
That's playing.
They're just trying to get a conviction. So, wow. So you could have really good years. You could be touching multiple 6 figures.
Yeah.
Wow.
You ever had 5 20K nights?
Yeah, I have.
You know?
And the weed game was moving back then.
Yeah. I'm talking about you using your mouthpiece and you sit there just like you sitting in that chair right there.
Right. Never. It was way more work.
Most you probably did was fix the microphone. You understand?
Wow. So did they feel, if they bring you back a 30 piece, they do real good?
Let's talk about this. Let me ask you
do you show them that you're proud and happy, or do you always keep it on ice? You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like I show them that I'm proud and happy through action. And what I mean by action is, you want to take care of your that are taking care of you, man, and making sure that you're okay. Yeah. You want to make sure that. How long is it going to last? All she see you doing is winning and she's not.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't the day and age we live in anymore.
Of course, yeah.
That's not the day and age we live in anymore. So I don't want people to get that misconstrued neither. Like, that's not how we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That homie gonna want something, bro. And if not, she's gonna go get it regardless.
Right.
So make sure that you show her that you care.
Of course.
Care with what she's doing for
she
you.
can go just put herself on camera and make a profile. And she doesn't need you.
Don't do it for no punk. Hey, don't do it for no punk rocks, man. But for the ones that's really making sure that it's there and that's taking care of business for you, man, make sure that straight. It's okay to do so.
Do you think that the internet game, OnlyFans, webcamming, do you think that's made it harder for pimps to get like top quality women?
No, because some of the baddest ones are in the strip clubs. Some of the baddest ones are outside at some of the most famous people's parties. You'd be surprised where these hoes get it. Everybody loves hoes.
Right.
Don't ever get it up, bro. Everybody likes the word hoes. When you hear that and there's a party and your homie throwing a party, rich homie, he say, man, I got some hoes coming through. Man, what? Bro. It turns you into a whole nother monster. You're like, hell yeah, bring the hoes.
Bro, we straight up call them hoes. We were white boys from like nice Portland, Oregon, and we'd be like,
and hoes like to get paid. So you already know. Let the hoes come through.
But if a hoe can stay at home and, you know, hit for bands just in her room, rubbing her. Why it seems like if she's going to go put on her shoes and go dance, she kind of wants to do it.
This is all I was trying to say before. Like, that's not hoeing though. I said, they try to say that's the modern day hoeing. That's what I said. People get like that for effort. Like, yeah, everybody just get a participation medal. Like, nah, that's just rubbing her online.
Right. But why be a hoe if you can just
not everybody can get online and rub not everybody has the following. You have to think about this though, bro. The only the that got on OnlyFans and like that already had a following where people were looking at their pictures and like that and wanted to see something past it.
Yeah.
That had 300,000, 400,000 subscribers on her Instagram and social medias and everything. She directed that over to her OnlyFans.
Right.
That's how some of these bitches making them that type of money, and you be like, oh, this made 150 this month.
Right.
You're like, what the It's because she's directing that all that traffic over to her OnlyFans.
So some people just aren't good enough at social media or the branding
Not
side. Not
everybody got that, but still be a bad.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
She just don't, man. You know how many bad out here, man, that social media, they don't got a lot of social media presence.
Right. Exactly.
But be cold in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think
they could get up on your ass and be like, man, come here, Johnny.
She could probably.
She how you smelling her booty hole. Yeah. For real drunk. Like,
I would, dude. I would.
You would.
Right now, I would smell her booty hole.
You got a schnauzer for it. I can tell you.
I know, for sure.
You probably like
bro. I can smell into her soul, dude. Yeah. God damn.
I like you, bro. We
are getting. Thanks, bro. I like you too. We apologize to Millie. Let's both apologize to Millie because she's gonna have to edit this episode so much.
Yeah. Have fun.
We really appreciate it, Millie. Dude, she's got a good attitude.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
I think, it's so weird because I think, like, on the one hand, larger society has never understood or been more sympathetic, empathetic to, let me just say it, like black hustlers, black dudes in the game, whether that's like the war on drugs, like we don't approve of that anymore.
Nobody talks about Tim Allen.
Right, exactly.
Nobody talks about him. Right. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You don't hear.
But pimping too. But like people would look at you, I think a lot of people our generation would look at a pimp and be like, okay, he's a human, he comes from circumstances maybe, and like I don't think what he's doing is that bad. A lot of people think that, but then you still have this the law side of it that's treating it like it was treating drugs. You know, it's fascinating
because drugs aren't hitting the same no more.
Exactly, as we said,
it's not something that's being where they locking people up in the masses.
They're not monetizing.
It had its time. Right. Yeah, it had its time already. That's died out. People are just making this now for themselves. People are doing it's easy. It's not. Now it's like, all right, how can we target black folks some more? That's how I look at it for real. It's like, okay, y'all going over here with the pimp game. They want to know where we're at. Where are we playing at? Right. Where are we up? Whether that's, okay, the drugs ain't popular. Oh, y'all ain't selling crack no more. Oh, y'all ain't got the coke bag like that. There's only a few of y'all now. Yeah. No, we need to fill these prisons. We need to fill these jails.
Sure. Do you feel lucky that you never took a pinch?
Man, I still went through hell. I still dealt with cases for 2-3 years.
Right.
Like that at a time. Like just, I'll be real with you, bro. Like they show you, even with murder, you can get out of jail if you got the money. They'll give you a bond. They give your ass a bond. I mean, they always say it's better to fight your case outside than inside.
Of course.
You always got a better chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. If you know that you commit crimes, stop doing them broke. You can't commit crimes broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, bro, you really can't, because when they start throwing you in there, you get a bond, but a lot of people's bonds be so crazy. It's like they ain't got the money. They're like, I got more time. And then when the judge see you on the inside and they're sitting there seeing you in the county blues or the oranges, they're like,
I got him.
I got him already.
He's suffering.
Already got him. He's suffering in there already.
Yeah.
I can pretty much throw anything I want to throw at him. If I even tell him I want to take this.
Yeah, bro. I was like begging to go to prison. Like, and I was only in there for a year, but I was like, man, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Give me something. I'll sign, bro.
You look like you used to trade for soups.
No, bro.
Trade soups, man. Soups for man. You got some? Yeah, man. I got soups. I got all that.
Man, I would help him out with a soup. Hell yeah.
It's nothing wrong.
But like a
with
homie though, because I have money on my books, dude. They bagged me with like almost $1 million. So like I had.
They didn't seize it.
No, of course they seized that, but I still had more bread. I was having things, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, that game's gone too. Weed, right? But it's so crazy.
You'll never make it back in weed. Nobody. Like nobody will ever like.
No.
Hey, I'm sorry. Like it is so much that's going on. This that's like 7-Eleven anymore.
Right,
It's on your every corner.
Of course.
Legally.
Unless you're somewhere else, not Cali, bro. So after you took a fall, but you got out, you dodged prison, but they seized a bunch of shit. What year was that? Can you talk about that?
2014.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. So a while ago.
Yeah.
But did that make you fall back? Or what did you do up until you started
your podcast?
What I
had to do was I had to kind of fall back. And I was having a lot of too during that. And I'm like, I got to kind of chill. I can't really go around some of my friends that I normally do because I don't know if they watching me, dog. I don't know what they really got going on at that time. So I wasn't trying to have them like where I lead them to anything that I was doing, like, or people that I know, because that's up. That's as good as being a snitch. If you know you on some paperwork, right, or you got something that's going on with you and they're watching you and they're doing stuff, it's best for you to kind of just stay by yourself. You don't go around your people.
Of course.
That's kind of like spreading the cancer.
Yeah.
So I kind of I had to fall back. I didn't want to really be on nobody's line like that. I didn't want to be, and that was just protecting I know, I'm not about to, snitch.
So the years go by though. And then you got on Soft White Underbelly.
Yeah.
So and the videos just went super viral.
Yeah. Sitting down with Mark, shout out to Mark. That's my dude, man. Shout out to Bishop Don Juan. Bishop Don Juan, that's my guy for hitting me, telling me hey, man, you need to come sit down with him. He's interested in your story. I'm like, man, interested in my story. I ain't never been interviewed about nothing. I know I wasn't nobody famous or nothing, but he's like, no, it ain't really about that. He just want to hear your story. And if you watch a lot of Soft White Underbelly, the stories on there are very, because I went and looked, I'm like, damn, this dude got half his face shot. I'm like, okay, his people real stories.
Yeah. Candid, normal people or people from bad circumstances. Doesn't have to be famous.
Yeah, right, but just where I'm at with it today, I took it to a whole
So was that why you got into podcasting, from the success of those videos?
Well, I wasn't even.
Because your podcast is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
It's actually it's probably the best podcast. No, I know it's the best podcast on that network. I got to be careful here. I like Adam, but
I appreciate you.
It's genuinely, unsurprisingly, and this is coming from a good comedian. Yeah. It's really entertaining, bro. Yeah. And it's no surprise. That's what we go back. Pimps are good people in show business. You got Mouthpiece, baby.
I have Mouthpiece. Hey man, I've had fun on there, man. Shout out to Adam. When I went to see him, we sat down. We had an interview that did great. I was just with him saying, you think I could do this better than you? I'm just playing with him. I'm not even meaning it. I'm just, because we're at the end of the conversation. I felt like we had a healthy interview. So I was just we're talking. He was willing to try me out. He said, no, for sure, man. You should come try it.
Nice.
And I sat down with one and I just started doing more. And then, people are calling me to come do their podcast and doing this, doing that. So I just been.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I love it. It's dope because that's all I ever did was, sit down and have conversations with people, preferably, you know what I'm saying? I would sit down and have conversations, so it's nothing new to me to have a drink and have a conversation.
But you can you're making money. We're doing okay in this game.
For sure.
So does that that must feel great? It's something that's legal, it's different, it's creative.
It's a blessing, dog, because I'm going to be real with you. And I wasn't hurting in the game, none of that. I knew I could always make it. I just had some hurdles I had to face, from paperwork. Some set you back, but I was going to make that shit regardless. I didn't think it was going to be from this angle, at all. It took a liking to me, and to be honest with you, I took a liking, to the viewers, to the people who watch it. with me, especially when I'm in the streets. People run up on me from gas stations, whatever, malls, clubs. As soon as I pull up, man, it's pictures everywhere. Like, I be like, hey, man, it's love. I like being a part of the community, just trying to get some good words. And that's why when you see me sit there and people see me be confrontational with chicks or whatever the case may be, it's not, I'm just trying to give some game. I don't want to act like I was some thirsty ass man. That ain't what we show these kids. No, you stand on your principle. You stand on your belief. If you feel a certain type of way, don't let it define that because she had a pretty ass face and you wanted to on her little was the reason why you didn't tell her how you felt. I've been around a lot of pretty in my life. So if I see a bum or talking some bummy ass, I'm going to say something, especially with that. Too, with men too, people who I've sat down with on my podcast, people like, well, why don't Sharp, get into it with men and he only gets into it with females? I'm like, look, men don't come in saying stupid ass to me.
That's very true.
They don't come in saying dumb ass to me or like weird ass like to try to press me or press a button on me to detonate me.
That's irrefutable.
You get what I'm saying? I've had chicks come in and be like, man, Sharp, I want you to go off on me. And I'm like, what? It's like they want it.
Right. They want clickbait, dude. They want to be in the video. They want to go viral. That's what I think.
So who's sick here, me or them and the viewers?
No, the viewers are good.
Well, some of them be like, no, because
viewers are good, man. You're entertaining them, bro. People know it's entertainment.
Yeah.
You got to give your audience
some people try to take it like it's just...
A few people in the comments, but I think
the comments,
the majority of them get it, bro.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a relationship with a civilian?
Yeah, I got a relationship with you.
Okay, with a woman? Did you ever have a girlfriend while you were really pimping?
No.
Really?
Hell no.
That's sad. That's a little sad.
You think it's sad?
I do a little bit, but I have barely had girlfriends.
You were sad probably not having girlfriends, but well, you wasn't sad about how I was sad. I chose to not have those type of situations going on. I mean,
but it still creates sadness a little bit, loneliness. That's okay.
I mean,
I'm married to this game, so I barely have time for a chick. I get it now.
I was married to the game, and I'm married to the game, so I'm looking at it like that doesn't affect me. I could have been a square, and the was going to do the same anyway. So what's the matter? Right?
No, you got to give yourself more credit.
What's the matter? No. It's not about me not giving myself credit. I can stand all the way up and always say I'm the king like I know that I am. It's not about what I think when I'm with a chick. It's about what she's going to do when she's around me. She can make a move tomorrow. There's no obligation. There's no, you know what I'm saying? People wake up tomorrow and feel indifferent all the time, Johnny. You know this. Somebody could tell you they love you today. They say they're never going to leave you. They say they're never going to, they're always going to be the best and they're always going to be whatever. They're telling you all the good and leave you before the sun comes up the next day.
But don't you think your profession has something to do with that, though?
No. Because I've watched people go through that regardless. I think that's a common trait we all carry. See, that's how you know we're more human together than people think.
Yeah, we're way more
We
similar.
have a common, you know what I'm saying? We all have common traits. Everybody does.
Yeah.
What do we think? This is just, come on, bro. We're not living on a different planet here.
No, we're way similar.
You get what I'm saying?
Way more similar.
We're not living on different planets here, homie. I came and visit you from far away from some other bubble.
It's a different planet down here.
We're kind of on the same. So I think we're all kind of in
You
the
did
same.
come all the way down to South Central.
For sure.
That's a different planet down here.
Oh, man. Shout out to them dudes, man.
Your kids.
Yeah.
How do you think it's affected your kids? Good or bad? Good and bad?
Never affected my kids. I mean, I don't show my kids a lot of anything, but I know they're going to see a lot of this, and that's why I make sure I do right. And when they see this, I hope they really learn some game from it. I hope it's not just because I was a pimp or am a pimp or whatever they want to call me.
So they didn't know you were a pimp. How old are they?
My kids are young, man.
Oh, okay. So
my kids are babies.
They don't know yet. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
My kids are babies.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, so you're kind of out the game. So they should be fine. Like if you're, you know what I mean?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like, it seems like, I don't know, don't get me wrong. It seems like you're transitioning. Like it seems like you got ambitions to be out the game for good. Am I wrong about that?
I mean,
in theory, if one was out here hustling, because it seems like that's why, don't you think that's why you started podcasting? Because you wanted something different? than what you've been doing?
Of course, I want more out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm transitioning, doing things like that. Yeah, for sure. But I feel like, to answer your question, the game will always be a part of me. It's not about whether I have a hoe, 5 hoes, or no hoes tomorrow. Like, it'll always be me. That's what people took a liking to, is who I was. That's my character. It's not even just about my lifestyle. I think people are starting, they love me and they fuck me for the way I am.
Of course, bro. Yeah.
Now they're just on my personality. Pimping is just where they know I came from.
Yeah. Yeah. I
think we've moved like 10 steps ahead now. Me, the viewers, and everyone. Like, we all know what I am for sure. Right. Now they want to see where I'm going.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
So, do you have any? Where would you like to take this media, this like show business, media, podcasting, whatever we do?
I got a lot of things in the works.
Yes, let's plug, bro.
I hope that I hope they ready, because I got some stuff coming, man, on the way. I got another podcast that I'm working on. I've been doing late night shows, man. I've been doing vlogs. I've been doing backyard squabbles, MMA events. It's been cool,
Nice. What is that? What are you're organizing fights?
Yeah, no. Well, I just partnered up with some people from Backyard Squabbles. Shout out to them. I just got with them. We just did one of their second sanctioned fights the other day, Saturday in Carson. Nice. So, man, that was dope, man.
That sounds dope, dude.
And like, motherfuckers was going, they was really rocking shit up in there. Like,
invite me to the next one, dude. That's
come
amazing.
Out to it, like you'll like it. Like, we'll be ringside and you just get to catch it. Like,
that's an experience.
If
you live in LA, bro, that's an experience.
I'm a big fan of UFC, MMA, so like, you know, they invited me out. They heard me talking about it on one of my late night streams, and they was just like, man, like, let's get it. I'm like, man, let's get it. Let's put it together. Like, I know a lot about it. I was savvy, so it was definitely a job well done for us all. Like, I think it's gonna go somewhere.
And then on YouTube, on the No Jumper Network, it's the Sharp. It's
Sharp Tank.
Sharp Tank.
Yeah.
Out. Yeah, you got like 2 episodes a week. Ton of content on there. Or 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
So with that, and then the new one.
No Excuses.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for it too, man. Just shot my first episode yesterday. So for
I'm gonna be on there, right?
You're gonna be on there.
I got a date.
You got a day.
We'll see you again.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Get ready. But you know, Johnny, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Yeah. I can't wait to see you. Skull you.
Oh, bro, please.
Hey,
bring it on, bro.
You my boy. Don't make sure I got a bottle of your honey or Kentucky bourbon or something.
Yeah.
I know how you
Basil
look like a bourbon dude.
It's an Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Look at you. See? I already know, man. Make sure I got you a fat waiting on you, man. No, we're going to sit down. We're going to have us a good time. Man, straight up. Because I'm definitely interested, because I've seen I've read about some of your background. I'm like, damn.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm like, that's going to be cool. I don't even know you done sat down and, man, you know what I'm saying, in the jail cell for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it was a little catnap. Compared to what I saw, now that I look back,
I like that.
Now that I look back, I was furious at the time. I was like a young, like loathing. Like, I blamed everybody else. I think a lot of guys in the game, when they catch their first case, they're very mad at themselves and they project outwards. So they blame the man, they blame the system, they blame.
Right.
But I had nobody to blame but myself. But there's a lot to talk about. But I saw them getting slammed, and I'm like, bro, I look back like 2 years, 20 months, whatever I did, that was nothing. So I lucked out. You know what I mean?
You know, 20 months. Hey, man, I don't give a 20 minutes is a lot in that bitch.
That's a fact.
Come on now. I give everybody respect that I had to slide through that. Like, for real, bro. I had to beat through there, whether it's for 20 days, 20 months, whatever, bro. 20 years. Like, it's different. Yeah. And I just want you to know I appreciate you for having me.
Of course. And you're on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, man, at the Sharp one. Make sure y'all go follow me. Come with me. I do the late night shows, man, on Sharp channel. Y'all can just go pull it up. Trust me, you'll find me. I'm not a hard man to find. I'm really not a hard man to find. Everybody knows how to really find me, but nobody really, the only time they ever come to me for business, nobody with me, bro. I stay by myself. Straight up. Yeah. Shout out to all my, man. Shout out to Brick Baby, man. Shout out to man. Yeah.
Bro, pour me one more of those rosés, bro.
Want some more?
Yeah.
You sure?
You want to stick around for like 20 more minutes while we do a Patreon? Is that all right? 20 minutes, bro.
You're gonna pay me for Patreon.
Just I will if we get some subscribers, bro.
If we get some
some
subscribers,
royalties.
ooh, that's such the way to move it up. Because he knows that I won't know if he gets.
No, I'll show you love, bro. I will.
He
I
sound
will.
like
I'm good
Tina
to
off
it.
of Bob's Burgers. He's like, yeah, he's kind of
I've never made that deal with
It's
anyone,
for the
but
Patreon.
I'm good for it.
Shit, I'm saying right now is for the Patreon, though, because I'm telling on you right now.
Sharp, we appreciate you so much, brother.
Hey, I love you.
Man,
I appreciate
love you too, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, you about to come see me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stoked, bro.
It's gonna be different.
Yep. And look out for our episode on No Excuses. I don't know what the I'm walking into.
But you gonna be walking into some real and I promise you this, bro. Like, I feel like the type of that I do, even though we talk all of our we might bump heads, we might do our I feel like that's a good thing for you because it's therapeutic.
Of course it is, bro.
You get to talk about it.
Yeah.
You get to talk about it in depth. You get to talk about how you feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, whether we got rebuttals to it or not, doesn't matter. That's what it's supposed to be there for you, is to challenge you.
I like that concept.
It's to challenge you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to challenge your fears. I want to challenge the things that you don't talk about all the time and see how you feel about them after you say them out loud.
This could be a winner. This podcast, like I know marketing.
Yeah.
Like I knew this podcast was going to be a winner. I didn't know how much, but I knew I was onto something. I think this could go.
Yeah.
Patreon.
I want to hear you say your shit out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear you say it yourself.
Yeah. But I mean, and I love that. But I love the concept of it.
Yeah.
Because you're fusing like what I'm doing and what Mark's doing with like a real fun and interesting concept.
You're the first person to ever say that.
Yeah. So you
know that?
you
For
blended
real.
the two shows. Yeah.
You're the first person to ever say that because that was always, those are the two things I've learned.
Yeah.
So I just put them together and fuse them, try to make it my own gumbo pot. You know?
That's great. I love it, bro. No, this was killer. Patreon.com/TheConnect Show for a little more sharp. Check out all of that content. I had so much fun. It makes me grateful that I do this show.
How long are we going?
What's that?
How long have we been running?
Just $130, $130. It's nothing, bro.
It's early.
It's actually $139. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you over at Patreon. Peace.